Alright, welcome back to another video on the channel, and we got the patch notes for the next PTB, update 8.0. And there's a lot of interesting updates, like some of them are questionable, but yeah, we'll go through them all. So first off, we have Chucky. They literally made his power cooldown 12 seconds. The only thing is he can't scamper unless he is doing an attack. So he can't just be in hidey ho mode and then scamper under a pallet and kill you. He has to be doing an attack, but his attack cooldown is 12 seconds. So basically you're making no distance. The way to think about it is, if it was 18 seconds, this means it's a 6-second reduction. Think about if you're running in a straight line, how far you can make it in 6 seconds as a survivor. Pretty far. So you're losing that much distance every time he uses his power now. If you make him miss, you better make it somewhere fast because you're going to have to drop the first pallet you run into, most likely. Pretty crazy buff. Next up, we have Bubba. They literally buffed him all around. What they did was they took his add-ons that everyone used, the crutches, the chili, and the engravings, and they made that kind of base kit. So you get an extra 0.5 seconds duration on each chainsaw sweep. And you also get a little bit faster movement speed, not much, but a little bit. Decreased collision, just like they did with Billy. That's nice. Decrease the tantrum time to 3 seconds, and adjusted the add-ons. So they probably nerfed the add-ons, right? Nerfed the chilies and stuff. Next up, we have Deathslinger. So with Deathslinger, they gave him buffs all around again. Decreased stun time. This was already in an add-on, I think. I think it was a cigar. I could be wrong about that. I don't really play him. But when a survivor breaks off of the chain, you only get stunned for 2.7 seconds now instead of 3. Pretty good. Increase reel speed. That's obviously good. It's not by much, but it's a nice buff to have. And then increase movement speed while reloading by a decent amount, from 2.64 to 3.08 meters per second. That could be good, especially with like double reload speed add-ons. That could actually be really good. They don't make much distance on you, so we'll see how that feels in chase. They nerf Wesker. It's pretty much only a nerf to the degenerates who tunnel people out off hook, right? Because I mean, I'm a Wesker main. I don't even care about this nerf. It basically means that you get made for this as killer now if they're fully infected instead of just a free down. I mean, 8%, it's a free down. Nobody can loop you unless you're terrible if they have an 8% slowdown on them. And now your infection gets reset back to 1% when you're hooked. They can't tunnel off hook as easy anymore, which is nice. Okay, so with Blight, they've nerfed his 2 eerie add-ons, basically by half. Actually, this one by 30%. Another Blight nerf, even less people will play him, unfortunately. They've increased the sabotage speed of all the add-ons and toolboxes. So basically, you can sabo with any toolbox now. Okay, so here they literally, when I tell you they nerfed every single gen regression perk for killer that people use, they literally nerfed all of them. So Deadlock got a 5-second nerf, which I'm fine with because this perk is brain dead. Most of the other perks, you have to do something good as killer, like you have to be playing well, do something, do your objective. This you can literally stand AFK and it'll still give you maximum value. Background player, I don't know how I feel about this yet. So they decreased the movement speed back to what it was, 150 instead of 200. Which is crazy, right? Because 200 was really fast. Now it's just decently fast. But the thing is, they lowered the exhaustion to 20 seconds. I think that's like 10 seconds with Vigil if you're running that perk from Quinton. So basically, if you get a save with this, and then the survivor goes down again, especially if you're running Vigil, you'll literally already have it back up. So if they go down, if you flashlight save them, and then they go down a pallet, you're going to get both of those. And then if they go down again on another pallet, or you get another flashlight, killers are going to have to be even more paranoid now. At least if you see somebody get a save with background player, you know, like, oh, they can't do it again if I down this guy quick. Now they can do it again, and they will. So especially in Swifts, this perk is still going to terrorize killers. Grim Embrace got a 2-second nerf. I mean, who cares? DS got a 1-second nerf, which is what it should be, I guess. I mean, it's still going to affect Freddy more than it will Nurse, right? There's a big power imbalance with the killers. So going forward with every nerf we talk about, just keep that in mind. All of these are going to affect the weaker killers a lot, and it's going to hurt them, and then the stronger killers are just going to power through and not care. So next up, we have Pop Goes the Weasel. They nerfed it by 10% from 30 to 20, and yeah, it's a pretty big nerf. I don't think I will ever be using this perk again. Because remember, this isn't like Pain Resonance, where if a gen's at 20% and it gets Pain Res minus 25, it's going to go back to 0. With this, it's only going to do 20% of the 20%. So 6% of the gen being regressed if it's at 20. So you really only get value if the gen's at 99 and you kick it, or if it, I mean, it doesn't have to be literally 99, but if it's high up, almost finished, and you kick it. But if you're playing a weaker killer that can't move very fast, it'll probably pop before you even get there. Next up, we got Buckle Up. So yeah, this is for the people buckle up. That's why they did this, obviously. Buckle up no longer provides endurance. Instead, the survivor who gets picked up off the ground, only the survivor who's getting picked up, gets a 150% speed boost for 5 seconds. Wait. Okay, so I think you can still do for the people buckle up. You just need one more perk. You need made for this. Because the thing with for the people buckle up is, the idea is, survivor goes down, healthy survivor comes over, picks them up, they both get endurance, and the killer can't down anyone. This is the exact same thing. It just requires one more perk. So instead of 2 perk slots, you need to dedicate 3 perk slots, and you can still do it. Because what happens is, you have made for this for the people in buckle up. You go pick somebody up off the ground who's down. They start sprinting away at 150% speed for 5 seconds. They're so far gone. The killers, unless it's like a blight, the killer's not even going to want to chase that. Because if they do, they'll probably lose the game, right? So instead, they'll go for you. But you still have the buckle up effect because you have endurance from made for this when you pick somebody up off the ground. So you can still be invincible, and they're basically invincible because they're so far away now with this new sprint burst. So yeah, you can still do for the people buckle up. You just need made for this also. And it will do the exact same thing. So yeah, nerf because you lose a perk slot if you want to do it. Pain Resonance got nerfed by 5%. I think this perk wasn't even problematic. It's only problematic when it was stacked with other gen perks. Honestly, they could nerf all the other gen perks in the game that would go well with Pain Resonance by a lot, and then just make Pain Resonance base kit on killers. Because it's healthy for the game, because you have to hook different survivors instead of doing the meta right now. It's just tunneling people out. I think with all these gen regression nerfs, it's going to make people want to tunnel out more than they already do. Invocation, a perk that I've been using recently, not doing very well with it, but sometimes it works and it's very good. Now only takes 60 seconds instead, so it takes 1 minute instead of 2. Very good, and you can still stack on it and have multiple people doing it, and it'll decrease the time more. And if those people are also running the perk, so if you're running a Swift and you have everybody with it, you can literally probably do it in 15 seconds now. So yeah, gen regression nerfed, gen progression buffed. We'll see how this plays out. Still, to be most effective, you need a Swift to do this. Because if you're solo queue, man, and you try and go down into the basement at the beginning of the game and do this, I mean, your teammates are going to start dropping like flies and no one's going to get the unhook and you're going to have to do it. It's just not viable. When I seen Boar go up there, I was hoping that it wasn't a balance update and it was what it is. Yes, this is so good, dude. It's not red anymore. And it makes it look more scary too. Okay, so this, they added like a little thing that tells you what the items do that are specific to killers when you pick them up. That's good. And we got the 8-year anniversary coming up. The broadcast is on May 14th. I guess be ready for that. And yeah, I think that's it for this. The highlights are definitely gen regression nerfed across the board, couple survivor perk buffs and nerfs, and some good killer buffs. Nerfs to killers that need the nerfs and they're not too harsh, and then good killer buffs for killers that do need buffs. Overall, I think this is a very good update. We'll see how the gen regression things play out. I mean, I mainly play survivor now, so, but I'm still killer main at heart, so I'm worried for them. I'm worried for the Freddy mains out there, the trappers that are gonna suffer from not being able to use the gen perks as efficiently. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Subscribe, like the video if you like it, and I'll see you in the next one.